as a fan and as a player, what is your favorite international soccer rivalry / derby?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm really intrigued by the Celtic Rangers one. Just the passion. I mean, every derby, I guess, has a lot of passion, but that just seems to be crazy being crazy. So it'd be cool to witness that once.
Okay. Does it feel like you guys are preparing for that type of match, considering the opponent, or no?
Not yet. I think it's budding, the rivalry. I think that in this day and age of social media, that enhances it a little bit. On the field, it doesn't, not yet. But given the proximity of the clubs and the newness of both teams to the league, you can definitely sense that one day maybe it'll get there.
Michael, do you feel like after Sunday's match, how do you feel? I mean, did you go back and look at the tape? And was it, other than the goal, it was a pretty solid match for you guys?
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff. We haven't looked at it as a team, but Columbus is a good team, and they gave us some problems here and there, and we got a little bit fortunate in some aspects defensively. But that being said, we created a good amount of chances. We were able to keep the ball well. We countered well in the second half. We scored 3 very good goals. So a good performance. Definitely some things that, as always, we need to clean up defensively and shore up to make sure that on Friday or next time we play Columbus, those things don't happen again.
I know you don't make the schedule, but 4 in a row on the road, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's a tough little stretch, especially with the away trip in there, the West Coast trip, where we'll be away for 2 games in a row. So it's challenging, but our team this year has had a great mentality on the road. We view it just like any home game. We go there to win games. We don't want to go to an away game and play for a tie. It's not our style, and we think we're good enough to win on the road. And this year we have been. So even though it's a tough stretch and historically on the road it's been tough to win in MLS, we expect to win a majority of these games.
What about Orlando? What kind of, you guys are familiar, what kind of jumps out with them and what could be a challenge on Friday?
Yeah, I haven't checked the weather yet, but the heat and humidity down there is always a factor. The budding rivalry and the intensity of the fans always adds a little bit extra to it. But like any team in MLS, they've got some offensive pieces that can damage you. Kleshin, if he's back playing, is one of the best playmakers in MLS, and Dwyer up top, obviously, is a proven goal scorer in this league. We're fortunate that Yotun is out because he's one of the better players in the league at his position. But we're focused on what we need to do. We know that they can hurt us if we're not at our best, but we know that if we bring our best to them, then we're going to make it a long night for them.
Speaking of pressure, not that there probably is a lot, but how do y'all focus on getting a point compared to getting Josef the record?
Yeah, we're not focused on getting Josef the record at all. It'll happen when it happens. Hopefully it'll be Friday night, but it might not be. More importantly, and he would say the same thing, is that we get 3 points. If we win 1-0, and anybody else besides Josef has the goal, we're going to celebrate the win like we should. And if we win 1-0 and Josef has the goal, of course it'll be a little extra special. And we're rooting for him, obviously, and we want him to break it as soon as possible and keep scoring as many goals as he can. But I don't think there's pressure on him. This isn't the last game of the season, so he's got plenty of time, and he's going to do it. It's just a matter of when, but there's no pressure for him to do it on Friday night. The team victory is much more important.
Is it one of those things where y'all hope he does get it done Friday and just get out of the way? So?
Yeah, I think it would be nice. Obviously there's a lot of attention on it, as it should be. It's a record that's stood since the beginning, and it's probably the biggest record in MLS history. So you want him to be able to break it and go past it and celebrate it and move on. But like I said, if it doesn't happen Friday, that's all right. It'll happen sometime soon.
As the leader of the locker room, how do you kind of focus and talk to the guys about, hey, let's keep the distraction out of what we got going on?
Regarding Joseph?
Yeah.
I don't think it even needs to be said. I think we're all aware of it and we're rooting for him, but that's about it. I don't think anybody's forcing him the ball. I don't think we're making sure that he's the only one that scores. Tito dribbled right past him on his goal. Didn't think twice about it. So, like I said, it's going to happen. I mean, he scored a ton of goals and he's got a bunch of games left. So it's going to happen. Guys are rooting for him to do it, but it's not changing the way we play. It's really not affecting us on the field at all, as it should.
Chris McCann and the stability he's brought to you on the field, and when he got that hard slam, was there just concerns like, oh man, another defensive winger we possibly have lost for a little bit of time here? But just talk about Chris and what he's brought to the team.
Yeah, no, he's been solid. When he went down, I thought, geez, it's just an Irishman being soft. But honestly, I thought, man, I hope he didn't dislocate his shoulder because he felt kind of awkward and hard on it. But he's been very good for us at left back. A position that I don't think he's played much coming into his life here in Atlanta, and he grew into it last year and is comfortable playing there this year. And is a big part of the team right now, and the reason why we're having success. And we said that about Greg when he was in there, and then Mikey, and now Chris, and that's just the mentality of the team. Anyone who's stepping in to play big minutes is doing their job and playing well. And Chris brings his experience to the back line and has fit in well.
Two more. You got it?
Yeah, I know the rivalry word kind of gets thrown around with Orlando, and whether or not you think it is or not, most of the teammates have said that it's kind of an amped up environment compared to a lot of games, and I'm just wondering if you think that makes it feel more special to score a goal there in that kind of hostile environment.
Yeah, I think so. You appreciate a good environment. We love it, obviously, here in Atlanta. I think away teams appreciate it when they come, even though the fans are cheering against them. They're in appreciation of the love of soccer that our fans have. And I think that when we go down to Orlando and the amount of away fans that we bring to the stadium, and also some of the, I guess you would call it, hatred that their fans have towards us, it adds to the game on the field. There's no doubt about it, and I think that's why we take extra pleasure in going down there and getting the wins that we have down there.
Michael, a little bit off topic, but Andrew Carlson. So he's been, you could say, a full season training with the first team. He's getting minutes out to it. Now he is a legitimate option at any time. Where do you think, what part of his game has improved the most? Playing with the quality that's here at Atlanta United, and what does he have to do next year to kind of push his game?
Yeah, I think adapting to the professional game. I think that as a youngster, he's probably been able to do as he pleases on the field as far as dribbling around and taking his time to make decisions and relying on his craftiness. But when you're playing in a pocket like he is usually, because he's not really the winger to play out wide and use pace or anything like that. He's so good in pockets and awareness that you have to be careful in there, because those are spots where if you turn the ball over, teams attack really quickly and get down your throat. So I think that he's been aware of that. His ability to play simple, see things before they're happening. His awareness of the game for such a young player is really high, and so when he's using that and playing simple, I think that's when he's at his best, because he's very technical and very skillful. I think that he's going to have a bright future ahead of him.